Hey, party people, it's Cliff. Good morning. Hey, so last video I was saying that it was tough to pay off my loan, the car loan, online, just online. Now, legitimately, that's legit. Legitimately legit. Legit. And it's a little bit frustrating, in this day and age. However, to CarMax's credit, they had called them up and said, "Hey, I'd like to pay off the car. Do I have to come into the store?" And they're like, "Yeah, come into the store and we'll do it." So I go into the store, I have my printout letter. I go up to the guy on the counter, and the guy is like, "Oh yeah, pay off your car. Go over here to the business thing, the finance department." Walked over there, handed the guy the thing, and he's like, "All right, I'll pull up your stuff." And then he said, "Oh, you actually owe a little bit less than the letter printout, so I'll go ahead and do that for you. So here's the final amount. Write the check out to that. Here's this. Here's the receipt. Done and done. And the car is paid off." So yeah, happy times. But the thing is, whenever you pay off something big, whenever that last payment, comes out, sometimes you might get a feeling of satisfaction. Sometimes you might not get a feeling at all. It might feel like that you need a little bit more time to process it. And sometimes what'll happen, and this has happened to me, is that you won't fully appreciate the payoff, or you won't fully kind of understand that you've paid something off until you have to make the next payment. And then if you make the next payment and then you're like writing it out and you're like, "Oh yeah, I don't have to do that anymore. Oh, I paid it off." But also the hardest part too, and I've said this about like money and finances, is that when you pay something off, something big, the hardest part is to keep it paid off, and to not get anything new, not get anything else. Like, I could take this car in, I could trade it in, I can get the full value for it. That's a lot of money too for the full value of this, and then get something else, and then, get myself caught in another debt trap. And I don't want to do that. So that's one of the things, is like, do your due diligence, like buy something. I think you should buy something forever, right? Like, and take care of it, like whatever you buy, and be very picky and be very curious, be very calculated in what you're going to buy and what you're going to get. And, to make sure that you have, because like, honestly, money rules the world. Like, money makes the world go around, as they say. And when you're out of debt, when you're not having the responsibility to pay off something, then you have a lot of power. You have a lot of influence in that. Being out of debt is a good achievement, and unfortunately, like in this day and age, like all the kids that go to college and, they get student loan debt, which you can't file bankruptcy for it. So you're trapped. And that's kind of like the thing that, at least in a capitalistic society, what can trap you is debt, or a mortgage or anything like that. But wanted to give you a heads up. It was pretty good, not too bad. And we're not driving today. Don't need to drive today. It's a good day. And what else? I think there was another like little lesson in here that I was thinking of. Not doing too bad. But yeah, just, like, there's always going to be a new iPhone made. There's always going to be a new model car. There's always going to be a new movie that comes out. There's always going to be something new that happens all the time. And what you have to do is resist the temptation to, go and get the new thing. Because sometimes most times and sometimes the new thing is the thing that is going to trap you back into more debt again. So, that's my little lesson to you. It's like, we're in a good mood. We paid off some stuff. Like, it might not feel anything at first, but once you get everything paid off, and once you have like those first, like, checks, or like your payment coming in, and you're not having to pay out all this money, it's a long-term good feeling. That's what it is. It's a long-term good feeling, rather than social media, which is a short-term good feeling. So, and also buying new stuff is a short-term good feeling, and there's buyer's remorse, right? Like, so getting out of debt is a long-term good feeling, and that's why it's like, hey, no big deal, right? Yeah, everything's cool, everything's all right. So that's my lesson for you today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.